Hey everybody, I hope your day is going great. It's about to get better. Today we're going to talk about how to store potatoes. You've had a big harvest, make sure to take full advantage of it and not let any of it go to waste so you can use it when you need it. Here we go.
I'm Stace. For me, healthy food and sustainability are totally connected. You can grow it yourself. Nature is generous.
Today at our place, it's fall. The ducks and the geese and the swans are migrating through our back area. I've just peeled a huge pot of potatoes and it's a feast day. We're gonna have a feast as a family. If you want a few other tips on feasting, especially if you're building some stuffing with sage, I've got a great tip on that on my tips for growing sage. But this is about potatoes. These are all grown in our garden this year. They're fantastically wonderful. And I often enjoy eating our potatoes months after we've harvested them. And a lot of people don't know how to store them so that they're gonna have success for the storage. And that's what this video is about. Now last summer, we planted two types of potatoes primarily in our garden. Some really big reds came out of it and some really big whites. These are called Norland. Norlands are beautiful. These are called Russet Burbank. These are a little more moist. These are a little more dry. So theoretically, these should store a little better. There's going to be 5 steps I'm going to show you as you get ready to store your potatoes. What you got to know first of all in that 5-step process is these are seeds. You're trying to store seeds and make sure that they're in good condition for storage. And the one primary problem with storing seeds, especially potatoes, is they might have a compromised area on their epidermis or their outside. I want to just show you on this Russet Burbank. Do you see the hole there? You might not notice it at first, but if you don't spot a hole like that when you're going through your potatoes and it ends up being stored with the others, you've maybe heard of the saying in English, one apple spoils the whole barrel. Well, one bad potato can spoil the whole barrel as well. So they're seeds and we got to make sure and store them well. And often when people are harvesting their potatoes, they use a fork like this and they end up stabbing the potato accidentally when they're digging around blind in the soil, and that damage that's made on the skin of the potato is ultimately the doom of that potato. If you don't eat that right away, it's going to spoil and it's going to harm all the other potatoes it's stored with. So with that in mind, I'm going to take you to the 5 steps, which are very simply, you're going to cure them, you're going to clean them, you're going to cull them, then you're going to sort them, and then you're going to store them, okay? Cure, clean, cull, which means get rid of the bad ones, sort and store. There's the 5 steps there, and I'm going to take you through each of the 5 steps in less than 5 minutes, and we'll be done and you'll know what to do. Here we go. Okay, we're in a storage shed. This is the part where the curing happens, and all the potatoes are underneath something to ensure that no direct light hits them, and that's the critical starting point to curing the potatoes. You got to get that outside skin to totally dry and cure, and then you're off to the races. So we'll just look at this curing step and then go quickly through the cleaning, the culling, the sorting, and the storing. Here we go. You don't need to get fancy to get things stored out of light. I just use a sack on the bottom and a sack on top to ensure that there's no light getting at the potatoes. If there's light getting at the potatoes, they will not cure well. Potatoes want to be covered. And interestingly, whenever you get potatoes that aren't covered and they're growing, you have problems because the part that's exposed to light turns green. Here's one of the white potatoes turning green. Here's a red potato that's turning green. These are kind of the batch of green potatoes here on this sack because they were getting through the soil and the sunlight was hitting them when they were in the garden. Those will not be safe to eat. And I'm just doing a test. I'm keeping them covered in the barn to see how well or how poorly they'll cure when they're green. I have a suspicion they're gonna rot, so I'm keeping them on their own. But all the other potatoes that are here behind me are covered, and they're all covered in different ways with tarps or sacks, so that no light's getting at them. And the general rule is to look for a week to 10 days of curing to go on in a dry place that's cool so that the skins can start to set up. When you get that nailed, usually it requires that halfway through that week to 10 days you turn them over, and that's what I've done with all these. They've all been turned over, and if you look at them, the bottom sides are not moist in any way. There's no moisture on the potatoes, so we know that they are cured. So at that point, we move into the cleaning and the culling. So when we cover the potatoes, here's an example of a few of the big Norlands. They look gorgeous. Now the curing is done. The skins are as dried out and cured as they can be, and now we're looking to clean them, which simply means just getting the excess dirt or soil off. In the case of this russet Burbank, you can see there's a little bit of extra soil there. We just don't want any place where a pest or any bacteria can be harbored. What you don't want to do is dampen it or scrub it. You wouldn't want to do that if you're going to store your potatoes. Some of these are quite dirty because I purposely didn't want to rub them off in the garden, but now that the skin is cured, it's safe to dry them out. They're either going to have to be peeled when you use them or scrubbed really well if you're going to cook them with the peels on. Now, that's the cleaning, right? We're going to go through every potato and clean them off. They've been cured, they've been cleaned, and when you've done that, then you're getting ready to cull them. Cull really means I got to use it right away or it's going to go bad and it cannot be stored, or it looks really good, the exterior is excellent, and I can store it. Now here's an example of two that are in different categories. This one, perfect shape, the exterior looks wonderful. This one is compromised. There's two little holes at least there. There's another one on the back side. So those little holes have a place where there's probably some decay or deterioration already going on. That's got to be set aside. You can't put that into the storage pile and expect it to work out. So we've done curing, we've looked at cleaning, and we know that anything that's damaged, it's got an indent or a broken part like that, or it's been stabbed by the pitchfork, maybe it's got a wilted or withered part, maybe it was a bit green, it's got to be culled, taken out, use it right away if it's usable. Then we move on to the sorting and the storing. The basic idea to sorting them is just sorting them by size, biggest, medium, and smallest. That way airflow is going to be consistent through potatoes of the same size, and probably when you go to cook potatoes, you're going to want similar sized ones to do the type of application, whether it's a potato salad or baked potatoes or mashed potatoes or cutting them up for French fries. So this way they're just sorted by size. I have purposely let time pass since I shot the last footage in this exact same spot in our barn where these potatoes were curing. Since I harvested the potatoes until now, 100 days has passed. It was late September when I harvested, and now it's the last week of the year. We've just celebrated Christmas in our home. Now remember, there was two types of potatoes we worked with, a white and a red. The white's much more dry. I'll come close to the camera. The red is more moist. So cured and stored underneath the sacks. The white are completely intact, nice and firm, cured off beautifully. And the red also storing really well, but because it's a more moist potato, it's quicker to go to seed, so each of the red potatoes is starting to sprout. I didn't immediately store them in the way that I was going to show you. I just let them stay under cover on the floor. It's an insulated floor. They're sitting on cardboard or coffee sacks and they're covered, so they're kept in the dark, and that's what they look like 100 days after harvest, so worked really well. This one, still possible to use it for eating. But you know what? In another 3 to 4 months, I'll be looking at planting it in the garden. I could cut it, but that's another topic, and I do have a video about planting and growing potatoes. So I just want to show you what I'm doing with these white potatoes, the dry ones that are best for storage, that I think is a really awesome way to store them. Take a look at this. Now this is just a small amount of potatoes here. I've got them covered, so they're in the dark. You could take a piece of wood, or in this case, I've taken a piece of metal rebar, and I used a used onion sack. So it's breathable, used onion sack, and inside the sack are all the potatoes. So the potatoes are inside the sack, and it's suspended inside the container, and it's actually a container, if you look, that has a few venting holes, just little drainage holes in it, so no light's getting in where the potatoes are, but a little bit of air is circulating, and that's absolutely your dream arrangement. If you had way more potatoes than that, you could suspend a sack maybe inside a Rubbermaid container like this, and you might want to drill some holes in it so it has a bit of ventilation. If you had a real lot of potatoes you wanted to store, you could take a whole garbage can like this and put a piece of wood or a piece of metal across the top and suspend 30, 40, 50 pounds, up to 20, 25 kilos of potatoes hanging inside a waste container. All you're doing is keeping ventilation and darkness so that you can see them last as long as possible. So that's a really beautiful way. 100 days of storing potatoes that have been cured off well, a beautiful way to go. Da-da! That's everything you need to know for curing and storing your potatoes. Good luck with that. I hope it goes great. And if you've been watching this video on YouTube, thanks a lot for watching. Please check that subscribe button, that notifications bell. I'll keep on giving you great, to-the-point resources that are hopeful, helpful, and healthy. Till next time. Hey everybody, I'm Sustainable Stace. I take people who are veggie curious to veggie confident through the entire growing season. Great little class through all the seasons. It's called GetBackyardAbundance.com. Check it out in the link below, getbackyardabundance.com.